approximately the 24th of October, Srila Prabhupada expresses his sadness because hardly any other devotees had come. I have already quoted what Pitadas had said. He told that a number of times, day after day, when he was in Srila Prabhupada's room, Srila Prabhupada kept asking where all his disciples were, why no one was coming. And he was very sad because of this. As I said, when Bhardraj came back from India toward the end of November, and he held meetings with the Fate Museum project devotees, where I also served, he had told us that when he first arrived, he was in Srila Prabhupada's room, and he directly heard Srila Prabhupada request that he wanted all his disciples to come and be by his side. But he also told us that it was about 1.5 weeks after this, which would put it toward the end of October, that he was in Srila Prabhupada's room, and he was with only 2 other devotees, Hamsadutta and Upendra, and he told us that His Divine Grace had been asleep for some time, and when he woke up, he turned his head from side to side, looking around the room, and he saw only the same 3 disciples. And he asked, why no one has come? Why my disciples are avoiding me? Bhardraj told us that Srila Prabhupada was practically in tears. He was very sad. He even said that Prabhupada said that he felt lonely that no one had come. It had been 1 to 1.5 weeks since Srila Prabhupada had made this just very loving, humble request that all of his disciples come and be by his side, and yet hardly anyone new had come. At that particular moment, only 3 devotees were in the room. Bhardraj told us that His Divine Grace was very sad and unhappy. He told us that Prabhupada was hurt by this personally. I was also very much hurt by this personally. As I've explained, from my personal, perspective and experience in my personal, my personal story. So I won't repeat all that here. If you want, you can review it, or if you haven't seen it, please view it. As I noted in the October 17th to 18th timeline, when Ramesvar had heard Srila Prabhupada had asked all his disciples to come to Vrindavan, Ramesvar felt he had to take action immediately to prevent devotees from hearing this loving and humble request by Srila Prabhupada. And the result was Srila Prabhupada had become very sad because he had requested all his disciples to come. No one was coming. Sauri Prabhu, who was aware of Ramesvar's plan to keep devotees from knowing about Srila Prabhupada's request, he now heard how sad and hurt Srila Prabhupada was feeling because his disciples weren't coming in droves to be with him. So on or just after the 25th of October, Sauri contacts Ramesvar. I'm not sure if it was by a phone call or if it could have been a telegram or a fax or some type of... anyway, in the Vedabase it just says that Ramesvar had heard from Sauri. So Sauri informed Ramesvar that Srila Prabhupada was sad and felt hurt that the devotees weren't coming to be with him. He warned Ramesvar that they could wind up offending Srila Prabhupada because of the actions they had taken. Ramesvar then writes a letter to the temple presidents about this.